come so fast? That's what I want to know. How did noon come? It's so good. Welcome. Hi, everybody. If you're there, let me know. Say hi. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some flowers. I have a pain here. I wonder if I need to go to the dentist. Probably I need to go to the dentist anyway, but hi. How's everybody doing today? It's Monday. Ooh, we had a slow start at our house today. There was big trouble in Little China over here. We had a kid, like the dog went and woke Gwen up in the morning, like super early, like at 4. And anyway, it was crazy over here this morning. We all struggled getting out of bed today. It was something. Now the rain's starting again. I was going to go mow the lawn, and I guess I'm not. Hi. My neighbor has the most beautiful wisteria vine across the street. I'm going to go take pictures of it later. It's so good. I had a great weekend. I don't know if y'all had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. I did one of my Fanning the Flames workshops here in Corvallis. It was so awesome. There were like 20 of us here, and we had this really fantastic 2 hours together where we visualized the world that people want to make change in, and sort of help people, the women that were there, sort of really focus in and tap in on setting tangible ways that they can make a difference in their communities. It was so cool. And I was telling someone today, asked me how it was, and I said, oh, it was great. I made 2 people cry. She was like, not in the mean way. I was like, no, like lots of people have always said that my superpower is making people cry, but in a good way. So I had 2 different people in my workshop cry, like they were in the zone and they were in the sweet spot. And they were like, I know what I'm doing. So it was really cool. I had a really good time. So for those of you that were there, thanks for coming. For those of you that were thinking of being there, we're going to do another one. And it was super fun. So anyway, welcome to Monday. It's Monday Mayhem. Yay, Monday Mayhem. I put in the description of this, hey, Kibra, how are you? I put in the description of today's Facebook Live Monday Mayhem, Kick It, because I was thinking of the Beastie Boys song, Kick It. Yeah, anyway, so I'm kicking it. I've just discovered a whole bunch of stuff is missing on my Google Drive, so I'm trying to figure out where the hell it went. Anyway, so I have been thinking, I was reading about criticisms of white feminism and criticisms of the way white women engage in intersectional feminist work. And I've been thinking a lot about how we're solving problems in America in 2018 and all of the different things that all of these women are doing around the world to sort of, and especially around the country, to sort of engage in these feminist actions. And I say around the world because there's some really cool stuff happening in Ireland right now with abortion. And there's some incredible things happening around human trafficking all over the world. And I just, like, women are just doing some really cool shit. But there's also, with that comes a lot of criticism of the way, in particular, white women do intersectional feminism. And so I've really been sort of thinking about what that means and what that looks like. And so I had written down that sort of, and I've been saying this a lot to my students too, like when we get on the edge and we get so absolute and on the edge and living in extremes, I don't feel like it solves problems or creates solutions. And I don't think some people actually want to do that. So I've been thinking about how to create space to come together, to see where our lives intersect, because even though I think we come from really diverse and different backgrounds, and many of us have a lot of other privileges than other people, there's still spaces where our lives intersect. Hey Liz, how are you? It's nice to see you. Twice, like virtually and in person this week. It's so exciting. But really looking about, I've been really thinking about trying to find moments to create opportunity to see each other clearly as people and as women in particular, look at how we, hey Chad, how are you, buddy? To look at how we sort of intersect as people in different ways so that we can stop being on the fringes. And that sort of led me down this rabbit hole of figuring out how I would describe myself to somebody, because there's so many different spaces of time in my life where, yellow, Chad, yellow. Are you still in Ireland? Are you still in Ireland, Chad? Or are you home? To figure out where we intersect. And so I was trying to figure out if I was going to describe myself, how I would describe myself. And so I was thinking of like saying something like, and I typed this out in my blog today too, like, I am the bisexual wife of an Army veteran with 3 kids. I am also a woman who has battled infertility and imposter syndrome. And I am also a doctor. You're still in Ireland? That's so cool that you're here with me, even though you're in Ireland, Chad. I love it. And like, sort of talking about maybe perhaps when I describe myself, which I used to do a lot when I was younger, talking about my very traumatic childhood and how I battled various forms of abuse as a child and what that looked like from relatives. And then there's also like the me who like tried to make money in various and sundry ways in college that I'm not very proud of, but that defined me really well. Or the me who would like beat and starve myself because I didn't think very highly of myself or my body, or the me that like is behind all these stories. Like, we all have these different stories that define us and make us who we are, and they sort of make us whole, and that's where we intersect. And I think if we could figure out how not to be on the fringes with our stories and like figure out how to have those different pieces of who we are create the commonality with other people who may have experienced the same sorts of lived experiences that we have, that perhaps that's a space we could come together instead of being so disparate in our the way we look at intersectional feminism and how we criticize other women for doing what they're doing. So then I was thinking about so then I went to church on Sunday, right? So I go to church, and our priest, Father Simon, was talking about pruning, how here in wine country, in particular in Oregon, we prune away the grapevines and we prune away the dead wood. And people do this in their gardens when spring comes, right? I've been watching my neighbors outside. My office window looks down on my neighbor's front yard, and they're pruning away the dead wood to make space for things to grow and become bigger and more beautiful. And how, so anyway, Father Simon's talking about pruning, right? And he's talking about what would happen if we schlepped away and got rid of, so we schlep around with all these bits from our past, which is how I was sort of describing myself when I was writing the day before. And I was thinking about what would happen if I stopped schlepping all the garbage around that I've been holding on to for like 30, 40 some odd years. And what the trash is that I'm dragging along with me. And I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of garbage. Like, I'm really dragging around a lot of crap. And how in Oregon in particular, because I live in a more rural part of Oregon, we see burn fires all the time, like in the fields and stuff, and we have them in forests so that it clears away the dead wood. But a lot of people have these rubbish fires. And so I really started to think, like, what's on my burn pile? And what is the crap that I've been schlepping around and holding on to as part of my story that actually is completely irrelevant because I don't need it anymore. Like, I don't need to carry around these parts of my story that have kept me stuck. And that led me even further down the rabbit hole, where I remembered that I had written this blog about what would your bench say, your memorial bench. So Jim and I had been hiking like 6 months ago or something, and we were hiking at this place called Bald Hill, and up there's all these benches everywhere, and there's memorial plaques on the benches. And I know y'all have seen these in city parks and stuff, like where people will donate something, and so the bench will have like a memorial plaque on the back of it, and he'll say, you know, this bench is dedicated to whoever for doing whatever. And so I had blogged like months ago about what's on your memorial bench. And then I started thinking, like, what's in your burn pile that's keeping you from living the legacy that you want to see on your memorial bench? And so I was thinking about how to sort of tease out and peel away the layers of the onion, what it is that I don't need, that I can cut away and prune away and throw away so that I can live that legacy that I want to live on my memorial bench, right? And so I was thinking, so these are the things. So I started to go down this whole, because of course I was sitting in church, right? And I'm writing about this while Father Simon is preaching, and I'm like, so I started to go to like sin and envy and like gluttony, and I was like, no, that does not resonate with me at all, right? Because I'm not that religious, but I'm trying. But I started thinking about things that irritate the crap out of me, like where I judge people and where I get annoyed with people, and where like sort of this mental clutter that I have in my head, right? And how what I would burn and cut away from like my mental crap so that my memorial bench could really reflect the entirety of what I wanted to. And so this is what I decided to clear away from my garbage heap. And I don't know if any of you are interested in doing this, but it actually was quite a useful exercise. And I hope I can step to it because it really felt really good. So the first thing I'm cutting away from my garbage heap is my fear of doing intersectional feminism wrong. So one of the things that has really been keeping me sort of stuck is that I really feel like I'm afraid of doing my feminism wrong and somebody getting mad at me for it, which I find to be wholeheartedly ridiculous. But there it is. That's the truth. That's just the plain old truth. And so I'm going to get rid of that fear that's sort of holding me back from doing the entirety of how I want to be a feminist in the world and how I want to present in the world as a leader. And so the second thing I'm going to get rid of is anger towards people who are just doing the best they can with what they've got. And so a lot of times I fall into that sort of space of anger when I get mad at people who don't have the same worldview that I do, or the same ideas that I do. And so I have really decided that I'm kind of going to release that anger towards people who are just doing the best with what they know. Like, there's nothing we can do about that. And so that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm releasing. That's what I'm pruning off of my hedge. And then envy towards all the millionaire women who have shown up in my life recently to inspire me and show me what my potential is. They're not there to make me feel jealous. And so I was falling into this, like, there's all these gorgeous millionaire entrepreneur women who are doing all this kick-ass shit in the world and changing the world. And I was like, I want to be that person. And I was falling into this space where I was getting super jealous of them instead of being like, I could totally do that too. And here's how I'm going to make my mark in the world. And it's okay that I want to be rich and make my mark in the world. And I love making money and there's nothing wrong with that. But I started getting super jealous and not letting these women inspire me. Instead, I was starting to get super bitter that I wasn't just like them, which is ridiculous. And so I'm letting go of the envy towards all the millionaire ladies because they're awesome and I just want to be like Beyonce. I'm going to prune away the judgment of those who are speaking their truth, even if their truth does not resonate with me. And so I also have this really lovely habit of judging people who are speaking their truth if their truth does not resonate with me. And I think we all do that. Like, if someone speaks their truth and it doesn't sing to our soul, we go, oh, that must be wrong. Instead of going, oh, that's awesome that that's your truth. That's not my truth. It's different. And that's okay. And so I'm going to let go of that judgment. I'm going to prune that away. And then the last thing I'm going to get rid of is my shitty list of shoulds. So I had this really amazing coach, Regina Garapi, once, who said to me, and Christina Dunbar, they work together, Regina and Christina. And they used to call it your shitty list of shoulds, like write down your shitty list of shoulds, which is a tool that I use with all of the people that I coach, which is really handy. If you have a list of shoulds, it's probably shit, and you should probably write it down and then rip it up and flush it down the toilet, which is where the shit goes. Or you can put it on your burn pile. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I have this shitty list of shoulds that's different than my original shitty list of shoulds, like, say, 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So I am going to write my new shitty list of shoulds and put it on the burn pile because I'm just tired of shoulding my way through the day because I think it's dumb. So I'm going to get rid of that. So once my burn pile is full of my anger and my fear and my envy and my judgment and my shitty list of shoulds, my burn pile is gigantic, but manageable. So it's not going to start a forest fire or burn down the house, which is critical for a burn pile. Let's be clear. You have to watch the burn pile, but you got to burn it. And I'm going to prune all that crap away. And then what I'm thinking is that my memorial bench will then say, here you go. You ready? Are you ready for my memorial bench? It's going to be good. Are you ready? Okay. So it would say Dr. Melissa Bird, PhD, because the PhD irritates the academics. Dr. Melissa Bird, PhD, was a human doing the best she could with what she knew at the time. She was an inspirer, a seeker, and a totally awesome badass. And that's what my memorial bench says. So if you are willing to go through the sort of clearing of the clutter and the pruning away of the dead wood and the sort of, thanks, Liz, I love it too. I hope you do this because I would love to see what your memorial bench says because that would be awesome. But I really, if you can just get rid, yes, Kevra, yes. I hope you do it too because that would be awesome. Chad, I hope you do it too because I would love to know what your memorial bench says. Missy was the best babysitter in all the land, and she raised me up right. That's what your memorial bench says, Chad. Dr. Melissa Bird, PhD, was the best babysitter in the world. Just kidding. Sort of. But I really would love to know what your bench is going to say. So once you clear away all of the stuff, what's it going to look like and what's it going to say? So, and I really am also interested in knowing what is on your garbage heap. Like what's the crap you're going to clear. So I blogged about it over on the blog too. So you can leave comments there, or you can leave comments here on the Facebooks, or you can just send me a private message and be like, here's where I'm at. But I think if we do this, it's going to actually help in the resistance and help in the revolution, because I think it's going to help us see that even the people who are on the fringes, the extreme fringes, there's still a way for us to intersect and communicate with them and figure out how our lives come together. And I think that's really the key to the connection. I don't know if I'm right on that, but I'm kind of feeling like I might be. So, so anyway, I really encourage you all to sort of reflect on what's going on your burn pile, and just remembering that there's just this whole opportunity to really get rid of some clutter and some crap in your own head and in your own shrubbery to see what could happen. So exciting possibilities. And so that's really all that I have for today. If you're enjoying my Facebook Lives, click on over to my website at birdgirlindustries.com, where you will find badass inspiration and blog posts and all my online advocacy programs. And I'm going to be doing another Fanning the Flames workshop, hopefully in Eugene, Oregon, sometime soon. And if you want me to come and do a workshop in your area, I totally do that. I travel to do these. So I've been to the East Coast. I'm doing them on the West Coast. Happy to come to Middle America. But really, really excited about these workshops, and what women are bringing to these workshops is really cool. This weekend was really just an honor to hold space for people and see what they wanted to come up with. And so I am, you can also join me for one-on-one coaching. And to do that, you just send me an email at melissa@birdgirlindustries.com. And I also have a Patreon page. So check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/birdgirl1001. Because there I'm posting actual exclusive content on my writing and some videos that are really awesome and inspirational. And also, I don't know if any of you are on Twitter or not, but I'm still in Twitter. I can't follow anyone else, Jail, because I've followed over 5,000 people, but I have 4,060 followers. So I need 5,000 followers so I can start following more people. So you can follow me on Twitter at birdgirl1001. And I thank you all for being here today. And I think you're all awesome. And I hope you have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious week. And I'll see you here on Friday for F Shit Up Friday Facebook Live. Love you. Bye. Bye.